How to murder your movie. Sometimes I wonder if I've made a mistake. For example, today, I'm stuck in the daily, slow-moving traffic of Los Angeles. It's hot, the air in the car is stuffy, and my trench coat is practically sticking to me. Many drivers rolling slowly past me look at my car with great astonishment. It's an old model, built in 1973. The paint is cracked, there are a few dents, and the car is covered in dust. But that's not why people are looking. It's the blue light on the roof of my car and the lettering on the doors. Hollywood Police, Movie Murder Department. I begged them for a newer car with air conditioning, but the chief refused. Not authentic enough, he said. Not interesting enough for Hollywood. The people of Hollywood demand a special inspector, an original, someone extraordinary. They want an inspector they know from television. And so I sit here in my car without air conditioning, in an old trench coat with a cigar between my lips, waiting for my next assignment. Life in the police force isn't easy. Long hours on duty, bloody crime scenes, unreliable witnesses. Maybe it would be easier for me if I were really a police officer. But I'm just an actor who took on this job last year. Ted, the real inspector, has been transferred to desk duty. He's the one who actually solves our cases. It may sound unbelievable, but this is Hollywood. All the Hollywood stars who had dealings with him were disappointed. Average looks, no peculiarities, no quirky details. This is supposed to be an inspector, they complained to the governor. So they hired me. The whole act, you know, old car, trench coat, cigar, a special accent, and all those peculiar gestures in the way I walk. Plus, my trademark, my 3 famous lines. I'm a detective. I'm allowed to do that. My brother's in the Navy. Do you have that with mustard too? People like that. Hollywood stars like that. You can do it, the chief told me when he handed me my badge last year. You're taking on a responsible job here in the movie murder department. It's our job to find out why movies are killed. We're talking about greed, gigantic egos, criminal energy, and tax evasion. And that's just the producer. As for the director and the actors, there are real abysses there. But enough of that. Put on your trench coat, practice your famous lines, and work on your gestures. That's the only way we can impress the Hollywood stars. Remember, it's like in the movies. It's not about reality. It's just about how good it looks. And so I sit here in my old car, next to me the cameraman who will film the new case. And we wait. The radio plays the same, endless royalty-free music that we are allowed to use for free. In the back seat is a stack of authentic-looking newspapers with only the front page printed. The only thing that's real here is the heat and the smell of old socks. Finally, a message comes over the police radio. The cameraman shoulders the camera and nods to me. It's time. The message is short and bloody. A new case. A brutally murdered film. Time for my big moment. I turn around in the moving traffic. A driver honks his horn indignantly and starts swearing. I roll down the side window. I'm allowed to do this. I'm an inspector. I shout at him and speed off with screeching tires. Good work by the design team. They've finally managed to create an authentic tire squeal. Less than 3 cuts later, I arrive at the villa. A typical Hollywood villa, tasteless, expensive, and with half-dried palm trees in the driveway. On the lawn is a fountain with golden water and red plastic roses. In front of the door is a nervous public relations manager. Skinny, pale, with a cell phone and sunglasses. I'm sorry, you can't come in like that, he says. and smoking is strictly prohibited here. I'm an inspector. I'm allowed to do that, I say, and this isn't a real cigar, it's just a movie prop. Ignoring him, I walk past him and enter the villa. The police officer in the foyer leads me into a large study. A group of people has gathered in the room. The usual scene. Police officers, witnesses, crime scene specialists. In the background, a fake fireplace in which important documents and forged tax receipts are burning. Hollywood. My cameraman pans the camera towards me and prepares everything for a close-up. My name is Garrett, Hollywood Police, Movie Murder Department. I introduce myself. You reported a movie murder? Gilbert, our makeup specialist, replies, Yes, the murder victim is over there in the set next door. In the set next door? I take a closer look around. The room is an absurd mixture of expensive furnishings and cheap walls. It looks like a movie set. This isn't a mansion? I ask incredulously. This is all just a set. One of the producers nods. Yes, that's right. We moved out of our mansion for tax reasons and now live on the film set. Every expense can be deducted with this system. You understand. It's the ideal solution. Why should I drink coffee in my house and pay for it myself when I can write off the same coffee here as a budget item? How about you, Inspector? Would you like anything? Coffee, a little refreshment, a massage? We have everything available. I can recommend our breakfast. A croissant fresh from the oven with some local organic honey. Do you have that with mustard too? I ask. With mustard, no. Then no. We should go to the crime scene now, suggests my cameraman. Agreed. The sight in the next room makes me shudder. In all my years as a movie murder inspector, I have never seen such a horrific crime scene. Several film reels lie side by side on the floor. Some of the tapes have been pulled out and are curled up on the floor. In between them are several red stains, raspberry jam. I look at some of the footage. Underexposed, poor framing, no color correction. This is no simple film murder. This is a massacre. Shaken, I stand up. What goes on in some people's minds that they are capable of such crimes? Innocent film reels hoping for a big Hollywood career, and then this. I will find the perpetrator, I swear to myself. Even if it takes the entire television season this year. Kowalski, who never gets a leading role because of his complicated name and is always relegated to supporting roles, kneels next to the film reels. With a magnifying glass and a flashlight, he examines the film reels for important clues. Can you tell us anything about the time of the crime, Kowalski? I can only give a rough estimate at this point. But I think the murder took place between March and October of this year. That helps me a lot, I say. I think I see something, he says excitedly. He waves the cameraman over and dramatically puts on white gloves. With tweezers, he carefully reaches between the film reels. Something is stuck in here. A dramatic scenario immediately plays out in my head. He's going to pull a caterpillar out of one of the film reels and show it to me. A caterpillar that will turn into a butterfly. Are we dealing with a crazy serial killer? Is this already the preparation for the next season? Kowalski manages to grasp the object with the tweezers. He carefully pulls the object out. What is it? I ask. A piece of paper? Kowalski pauses dramatically and then looks directly into the camera. Not just a piece of paper, he says. This little piece of paper is a script. It's the script for the murdered film. A film cut, dramatic music, and I'm back in the study. For the first time, I take a closer look at the witnesses, and what I see is unusual even for Hollywood. Never in my career as an actor or inspector have I seen such an unusual group of suspects. The camera only shows the group briefly. Later, during the interrogations, we will see each individual in more detail. I could deliver a long monologue now, I say, but we are under time pressure. We only have 45 minutes, so there is enough time for the commercial breaks. I will therefore question you individually. I point to the inconspicuous man on the sofa wearing a golden crown. I'll start with you. 1. The king and I. I show him the piece of paper. Have you seen this before? No. What is it? The script. Oh, I didn't know that. I was never interested in the script. A movie has been killed. Do you have any idea who it could have been? Who the murderer is? He laughs. No, how should I know? What was your role in this movie? I'm the producer and director. Can you imagine what a responsibility that is? No, I say, I can't. There you go, he replies with a satisfied smile and dramatically sinks back into the sofa cushions. I have to take care of everything. I'm responsible for everything. I make the decisions. I plan everything. I coordinate everything. I am the murderer, I suggest. He looks at me with wounded pride. Of course not. I can't take care of everything. Murder? Do you know what that means? Motive, planning, execution, hiding evidence? What else am I supposed to do? Who's going to pay for all that? No. Murder, that's not my responsibility. And before you ask, no, we haven't hired anyone for that either. I'm just surprised that you've listed everything necessary for the murder so precisely. It seems suspicious to me, as if you've been thinking about it for a long time. Of course I have. I've been working on the perfect murder for months. A murder that no detective can solve. The perfect murder. I look at him with surprise. Is that a confession? I ask. It's a movie. My movie, shot last year in New York. The Double Witness. You may remember it. We won 2 Oscars. For both leading actors. After the award ceremony, we sold twice as many tickets. We're already working on a sequel, 2 films for double the budget. Of course I've seen the film. Twice, in fact. Together with my brother. My brother's in the Navy, I say with a smile. Sensational. Wonderful. Perfect. In truth, I haven't seen the film, but I know Hollywood. Praise is part of the business here. Last question. Who do you think is the prime suspect? Not me anyway. A king doesn't murder. But you should talk to Walter. Who's Walter? The man with the 2 golden revolvers. Revolvers? I didn't notice that. What are you going to do now? I think I'll question the woman with the diamonds. To keep up the suspense. The king shakes my hand. It was nice to meet you. If you like, I'll send you tickets to the next premiere. 2 tickets. Thank you, Mr. King, I say and take a bow. Twice. Oh yes, I wanted to ask you something. Why are you wearing that crown? Crown? What crown? Surprised, he takes off his golden crown. Oh, there you are, he says, and begins to lovingly clean the crown. Then he looks at me again. This crown means nothing to me. It's just a souvenir, a gift from a friend. Then, with a reverent expression, He puts his golden crown back on. 2. Diamonds are my best friends. Are you Lady Jessica? I ask. That's right, Inspector. I admit it. How clever of you. You found me. Is it my turn now? Would you like to question me? Do you think I'm capable of murder? Her world-famous laugh rings out like a bell, albeit somewhat forced. Believe me, if I were to kill anyone, it would only be my ex-husband. Which of your ex-husbands? I ask her. She thinks hard. Which one? I think the last one. Or no, best all of them. Just kidding, Inspector. Believe me, I couldn't hurt a fly, unless it sat on my nose. I don't respond to her joke and show her the evidence. Have you seen this before? No, what is it? The script. Oh, how nice. I didn't know we had a script. A pause. I say nothing, just look at her. She fiddles nervously with her necklace, which is set with large red diamonds. I can prove my innocence, Inspector. Dorothea. She calls, "Bring me my appointment book." A few seconds later, her assistant Dorothea appears. What would you like, madam? My appointment book. Right away, madam. Dorothea runs out of the room. Another assistant appears. Your new jewelry has arrived, madam, she says, placing several small boxes on the table in front of Lady Jessica. Not now, Margaret. Lady Jessica dismisses her. Go and find Dorothea. I've been waiting for her for 10 seconds. And tell the delivery man that the new packages belong in the wardrobe. He should put them with the others. If there's no more room, then in the living room. He should put the large packages directly in the garage. The new car won't arrive until this afternoon, so there will be room until then. Of course, madame. I'll take care of everything. Lady Jessica looks at me desperately. Oh yes, these young girls. They try hard, but... I interrupt her. You seem to be buying a lot? I ask her. Just a few things. Nothing worth mentioning. Jewelry, dresses, diamonds, refrigerators, 2 or 3 butlers, cars, a helicopter. May I ask what your role is in film production? Of course. I'm in charge of the budget. Dorothea appears with the appointment book. Finally, says Lady Jessica. Here you are, Inspector. Take a look at my appointment book. A divorce, a wedding, a honeymoon, then a trip to Europe and back to Hollywood. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I simply don't have time for murder. Besides, I don't like to get my hands dirty. A parcel delivery man enters the room with a stack of parcels. Not here, she hisses at him and shoos him into the next room. If I may give you a hint, Inspector, she says, relax. You're spoiling your good mood by always thinking about murder. Buy yourself something nice. It will distract you. Shopping makes you happy. Does that always work for you? I ask. Always. She beams at me, the diamonds on her necklace sparkling. No further questions, I say. 3. The Invisible Man. Kowalski gives me a sign from the side. Oh, Kowalski, I didn't know you had 2 scenes in this episode. What's going on? Kowalski looks into the camera and says, I took a closer look at the production company's documents. We overlooked another suspect. Everyone from the production team is here today, except for him. That is suspicious, I reply. What is this man responsible for? Marketing, Kowalski replies. No one from production has seen him in weeks. They call him the Invisible Man, The Invisible Man, I say. Not bad. That almost sounds like a movie title. Kowalski, I'm counting on you. Find this man. Right away. In the meantime, I'll continue with the other interrogations. 4. The Silent Witness. A new suspect has taken a seat in front of me. A well-dressed man in his prime. He looks at me questioningly. I show him the note. Have you seen this before? The man is startled by my question. He raises his right hand to his mouth and mutters something incomprehensible. Can you repeat that? The same muttering. Can you speak louder? Of course, he whispered. You see, it's gladly. They're always so different. I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. I'm sorry, he whispered again. Are you okay? I whisper back. Do you have a cold? Excuse me? A cold. A cold, I repeat loudly. Oh no, I'm afraid I don't hear so well anymore. My ears, you understand. I understand. Excuse me? I understand, I yell. That's good because how gladly. Front door locked. Too warm, he whispers back. Suddenly, the room is filled with a loud, howling noise. A mixture of church bells, alarm sirens, and hysterically screeching monkeys. Oh, I think that's my cell phone. A call. Later, I say, let's talk about the script first. I have nothing to do with that. That's not my department. Listen, your movie has been murdered. Do you have any idea who could have done it? He mumbles something. I see, I say, depressed. Who are you again exactly? He whispers. Inspector Garrett, Movie Murder Department. Has something happened? Yes, someone killed your film. Kilt? I don't wear a kilt. Haven't for years. You see, my legs aren't what they used to be. I'm sorry to hear that, I reply. He nods at me. Then he says something incomprehensible. I can't understand him. What are you actually responsible for in this film? I ask him. Film. Yes, exactly. Sound and music. That's my specialty. Who do you think committed the murder? Who do you think is suspicious? Can you speak a little louder? I didn't understand you. I mumble something incomprehensible. Right, he says. That's a good idea. Walter, the man with the 2 golden revolvers. You should talk to him. Maybe he knows something. Thanks, I say. I'll do that. I can assure you, Inspector, if I hear anything new, I'll let you know right away. That will certainly help me, I say. And cut, says my cameraman. Excuse me? I ask him. Cut! Cut! He shouts. Oh, I see. 1 film cut later, the next suspect is sitting in front of me. Walter. 5. The man with the golden revolvers. I show him the note. Have you seen this before? No, what is it? The script. I have nothing to do with that. That's not my department. What are you responsible for? I'm the creative department. I solve problems. How do you solve problems? With your 2 gold-plated revolvers? With a professional killer? With money, he says in his deep, dark voice. Money makes everything easy. Everyone is for sale. Everyone in this city. For money, Most people here would even sell their souls if they still had one. That's how it works here. If you need a new script, you buy a writer. If you have trouble with a director, you buy a new one. Actors who aren't right for the role are replaced. You see, with money, I can solve any problem. And that works? Of course, he says, leaning back comfortably. May I remind you that a murder has taken place here? Oh, yes, he mumbles. I had already forgotten that. Is there anyone you suspect? Did anyone behave strangely? This is Hollywood, he replies. Everyone here is strange. Although, yes, there is someone who is really strange. Downright disturbed, mentally ill, a real nutcase. Who do you mean? Our author. You should talk to him. 6. The author. Sitting in front of me is an unassuming, small, modest man. He has a strange haircut and old-fashioned glasses. I hold up the small piece of paper and show it to the writer. This piece of paper, what is it? It's the story, he replies. Just this little piece of paper? There was no money for more. They'd already spent so much on the script. I don't understand. The film is based on a successful novel. First, they bought the rights to the book. Then there was a script proposal, followed by a rough draft and 14 revisions. Then the director argued with the author. Then the author was fired. I thought you were the author? I'm the second author. They had already started shooting. Without a finished script? There were a few pages that were reshuffled every day. The director then simply filmed the first 3 pages, every day. How can this work? It works great. You know, it doesn't really matter what they film or in what order. They edit the film together later so that everything makes sense. And what was your job? I came to the set every day and wrote a few lines of dialogue, which the assistant director then burned. I can't imagine how that works in practice. After a month, they ran out of script. They asked me, and I wrote these notes during every coffee break, which was enough to last another 2 days of shooting. It was an action movie, you understand. There's not that much talking. What happened then? Then they fired me. On a Thursday. On Monday, they rehired me at double the price. I continued to write my dialogue, and the assistant director burned it again. 3 days later, they fired me for good. I got a call from the assistant's assistant. So you certainly harbor a grudge against the film company. That makes you our prime suspect. Why a grudge? It was the best job I've had in 2 years. I see, I say, dejected. Is there anyone you suspect? Not really. But if anyone knows what really happened here, it's Eduardo. Who is Eduardo? I ask. The big boss. And where can I find him? Today is Tuesday. So he's either at the golf course, on his yacht, or at his horse stables. What does he do for a living? How did he get so rich? No one knows, replied the author. 7. At the golf course. With screeching tires, I pull up in front of the rich and beautiful golf course. An immaculate white clubhouse, in front of it a parking lot with luxury cars in the highest price ranges. I park my dented and dusty car right next to a red Ferrari with gold-plated exhaust pipes. In the entrance area, I am intercepted by a uniformed employee. Are you a member? No. Are you rich? No. Are you beautiful? No. Are you at least famous? No. Then I'm afraid I can't let you in. You're not allowed to be here. I'm an inspector, I reply. I'm allowed to. My cameraman gives me a thumbs up. Once again, I've used my most famous line. A short time later, I found Eduardo, a large, heavy man in a white suit. He was just preparing his tee shot on the 7th hole. I introduced myself and told him what it was about. A movie murder inspector? Listen, I have nothing to do with this whole thing. I have a clean slate, as you can see from my white suit. Besides, I don't have time for you today. I have to finish playing the 18 holes. He positions the golf ball, glances briefly at the target flag, and hits the ball with a colossal tee shot. The golf ball takes an impressive curve and lands in the middle of the green. Very good, he says, tossing the club back into his golf bag. A good shot. He scribbles a number on his golf scorecard. On to the next hole. Wait a minute, I ask him. You're not going to finish this hole? He looks at me with pity. You don't know much about golf, do you? My best shot is the tee shot. I practice it every day. All the effort later on, I don't enjoy that. I want to have a good tee shot, and that's it. The rest is just statistics. You have to think big in life, then you'll achieve something. Speed, that's the key to success. I can't let you go, I say. I have to solve a murder case. You're one of the main suspects. I don't have time for this nonsense. Murder? Impossible, it wasn't me. And I can prove it to you. Prove it. Of course, I could have killed the film. I didn't care about it, you understand? For me, it's just a tax write-off. But the point is, I don't have time for murder. Not an hour, not a minute. I'm always on the job. Murder would be a complete waste of time for me. He grabs his golf trolley, waves to me again, and then continues on to the next hole. Perfect, I say, a perfect exit. We don't even need to edit that together. Then the music starts, and a commercial break follows. 8. Back at police headquarters. More than 30 minutes of airtime have already passed. I'm back at police headquarters. I think it's time to interview a real expert, I say to my cameraman. You mean the real police officer on desk duty? You mean Ted? No, ChatGPT. I enter all the information into the computer. They shoot it in several takes to make it look like a lot of work. Less than 5 seconds later, the computer has found the right answer. I print out the result and look directly into the camera with a dramatic expression on my face. It's time to inform the chief. Only he can give us the go-ahead for this plan. The chief's office is right next door, on the same set, and after a few steps, I'm standing right in front of his office door. Chief is written in large letters on the frosted glass pane. No one knows his real name. We all just call him Chief. Rumor has it that his character was only introduced at the end of the first season, and production was pressed for time. Chief was all they had. And to be honest, it hasn't bothered anyone so far. I knock and enter his office. How's the murder case going? He asks. Not good. There are too many suspects who could be the perpetrator. And I only have my weekly 45 minutes to solve this case. Listen, says the chief, we could also make it a two-parter. Then you'd have until next week to solve the case. That's one possibility. But I am more in favor of a spectacular ending. I slide the note with my solution over to him. He glances at it. You can't do that. Impossible. Just think of the cost. It's also logistically unfeasible. It's impossible. It will be possible, Chief. The perfect plan. The perfect cliffhanger. I'm sure that this way our viewers will stay on our channel even during the last commercial break. "It's on your head, Garrett," growls the chief. "And now get on with the commercials." "And cut," calls the cameraman. "I've got it all in the can." A commercial break. Dramatic music. 9. Murder on the Hollywood Express. I'm standing in front of the Hollywood Express, the luxury train for the rich and famous. Exquisite interior design, a waiting list that's months long, and Michelin-starred cuisine that rivals any top restaurant. You say there's no Hollywood Express? Not here. Not in Hollywood. Yes, there is. Tonight. And all the lost souls will embark on their final journey together. I board the Hollywood Express. I go to the dining car. All the suspects have gathered there. Everyone has turned up. The atmosphere is tense. Lady Jessica jumps up and complains in a shrill voice. "Inspector, I've been working in Hollywood for years, and I've never heard of or seen a Hollywood Express. To me, this looks like a trap. Besides, the word express is spelled with 3s outside, as if someone was in a hurry or had a limited budget." "Very good, Lady Jessica. I admire your keen powers of observation. In fact, the train was built just for today's episode. The train is a trap for the murderer." I give the conductor a signal, and the train slowly starts to move. Like glittering stars in the night, the lights of Los Angeles illuminate the black night. The time has come. Everything is ready. My big moment. I stand in front of the assembled group. Spotlights illuminate me perfectly from the front and back. The camera pans to me. I begin in a dark, mysterious voice. Finally, after almost 40 minutes of airtime, it's time for my closing monologue. I will now reveal your hidden motives, expose your lies, and name the true perpetrator of the murdered film. But first, I would like to pay you a compliment. Yes, you all deserve a compliment. For what is probably the most exciting case in my television career. A dramatic pause. I admit, I was confused at first. Our stories usually have only 3 suspects. The obvious perpetrator, the suspect in the second act, and then the third, surprising perpetrator in the resolution. This case was different, I noticed that right away. There were too many suspects, too many clues, too many possibilities. One moment, please. I take the small mustache that Gilbert, our makeup artist, hands me and continue speaking with a slight French accent. There were also too many alibis. I checked your times carefully. 2 of you were briefly in prison for tax evasion, 1 was in a rehab clinic, and 1 was on her honeymoon. You all have alibis. How do these pieces of the puzzle fit together? My French accent is getting stronger and stronger. I sat down in my favorite armchair with a hot chocolate and thought about it. After a few minutes, it was too exhausting, so I transferred all the data to the computer. It then found 2 solutions. The camera pans to Walter with his 2 gold-plated revolvers. "Now tell us your solution." This is pure torture. He looks at the cameraman. "Was that good?" "Perfect," replies the cameraman. "You can sit down again." "As you wish, monsieur," I say. This is the first solution. There is no single perpetrator. No, several perpetrators worked together and gave each other false alibis. "That's outrageous," exclaims the king. "I wouldn't ally myself with anyone. And none of the others would do that either." "You're wrong, Inspector." Indeed, I was wrong. I agree. That's not the right solution. The right solution is even more shocking. You are all the perpetrators. You all helped murder the film. You are all guilty. Pandemonium. Everyone jumps up, shouting, screaming, protesting their innocence. It takes a lot of effort to restore calm and order. You deny the crime? I will prove each and every one of you guilty. 1. How to kill a movie. Sound. I point to the sound and music expert. You. Let's start with you. Every filmmaker will confirm that sound and sound design account for up to 50% of the movie experience. But what did you do? You treated the sound and music as secondary. You didn't make any effort. For you, the sound was just an unimportant component. You, sir, you are a murderer. Your poor sound killed the movie. 2. How to kill a movie. The big ego. I point my finger at the king. Now to you, Monsieur King. You are the producer and the director. You decide everything. But this power has changed you. You are supposed to support your employees and help them, but you rule over them. You only allow your own opinion. Everything has to revolve around you. You don't accept criticism or other opinions. The only thing that matters is yourself. You have great power, but you also have a big ego. That big ego killed the film. You are a murderer, a royal murderer who is proud of his power and wears a golden crown. 3. How to kill a movie. Spending, spending, spending. Lady Jessica, you are certainly a good actress, but you are not suited to production. The film budget is not for you, but for the film. The first thing you think about is spending money. The crucial mistake. You think that if something is expensive, then it is also good. That's how you shop. The most expensive camera, the most expensive props, the most expensive film production. Then you're surprised when the production runs out of money, and there's no money left for the important work to finish the film in good quality. Your excessive spending killed the film. It's not about feeling good and important when we buy expensive items. Only things that are necessary for the film should be bought. That makes you, Lady Jessica, a murderer too. 4. How to kill a movie. Creativity, not money. But you made the biggest mistake of all, Walter. Producing movies means solving problems. Every day brings new problems. How do good film productions solve problems? By finding creative solutions. Creativity creates new solutions. Creativity is what makes a movie special. But you cover up all the problems with money. In doing so, you are doing massive damage to the movie. You destroy the film budget and don't allow any creativity. You think money solves problems. The truth is, creativity solves problems. Simply throwing money at the problem leads to ruin. It could have been a good film, but the budget was used up, and so this cruel film murder took place. You are a murderer, Walter. You can tell me that you only wanted the best, but that doesn't absolve you of your guilt. 5. How to kill a movie. Screenplay. What screenplay? I haven't forgotten you, Monsieur Author. I know you're just an employee and did what you were told, but you're also partly to blame. The screenplay is the foundation of a successful film. Writing something quickly every day won't work. If there are already 14 versions of the screenplay, it's still your job to write the 15th version. And then the 16th version, and so on. Too many film productions are willing to spend millions on stars and special effects, but they cut corners on the screenplay. On the actual theme, the story, the motivation of the characters. Any production that skimps on the script and is not willing to work on it is guilty if the film later becomes a problem. This film murder begins on the first page of the script. You too, sir, are guilty of this. 6. How to kill a movie. One shot. I turn to the man in the immaculate white suit. Since we're listing the guilty parties, you are also guilty of murder. You were never really interested in the film. You were only interested in the finances. The only thing that mattered to you was that everything happened quickly. Why invest in a good script, sufficient rehearsal time, and enough time for filming to create a really good movie? All of that takes far too long for you. Too many little things, too many small, unimportant decisions. You should have given the production much more time to really develop the story. You demanded that everyone get everything right on the first try. But without practice and training, you'll never develop a good golf swing. And of course, you'll never make a good movie. Sufficient time for preparation and sufficient shooting time are the most important factors for an outstanding film. 7. How to kill a movie, marketing maybe. At that moment, we are interrupted. A man in colorful clothes has entered the compartment and is trying to sit down inconspicuously with the group. Who are you? And why are you only coming in now, at the end of the episode? I'm the marketing man, he says confidently. This is my big moment. The film is almost over. This is the perfect time to start marketing. I'll start with a brainstorming session, then hire a few designers and start designing a marketing campaign. Is there any budget left? Otherwise, I can only offer a few quickly printed posters and a trailer that explains the whole film, with lots of loud music and 2 or 3 mysterious sentences. The usual. He looks around with satisfaction. I've been waiting for you, I say. Yes, you. The worst killer of them all. Marketing. We live in a world where thousands of products compete for our attention every day. To successfully promote a film, you need time, money, and a really good plan. Marketing for a film must begin before the film is shot. Marketing is not something that happens on the side, with whatever money is left in the budget. Marketing is the central task for every production. Shall I shock you? Yes? Then listen to this. Marketing is just as important as the film itself. Marketing determines whether the public even hears about a new film. Marketing is the first step in successfully selling the film later on. If you're not willing to invest in advertising, you shouldn't even try to produce a film. I look the marketing man in the face. You, sir, you are a murderer. You are complicit in the murder of this film, which now no one in the whole world will see. What a cruel murder. After a short pause, I continue my monologue. Mesdames et messieurs, you tried to fool good old Poirot. I mean, good old Garrett, but you didn't succeed. I solved the case. I found the murderer. The murderers, all of you. I take a sip of the hot chocolate my butler hands me, and then stroke my Belgian mustache with satisfaction. The end. Sequels, musicals, and Broadway. Lady Jessica struggles to her feet. Her self-confidence is shattered, her fame as a star gone. Inspector Garrett, she says in a weak voice. What will become of us now? Dramatic music, a film cut. Completely out of the blue, the chief storms onto the set of Hollywood Express. Great, wonderful, he exclaims. What a story. What a case. I thank you all. Lady Jessica, Inspector Garrett, bravo, bravo. I'll tell you what we're going to do. First, we'll rework this episode and then release it as a movie. The name of the movie will be How to Murder Your Movie. And then we'll really get started. We're here in Hollywood. I'm just saying, a sequel, a musical version, and next year we'll bring the story to Broadway as a play. He points to the author. And you will write the scripts and the play. Lady Jessica will reprise the same role, and we will negotiate with you for all other positions in the coming months. We'll also publish a book for film students. How to Murder Your Movie. It's going to be wonderful. The chief hugs me. The actors applaud. What an ending. Yes, this is Hollywood. A place where your dreams come true. At least, if someone gives you enough money to make your dreams into a movie, that's all. And now get started. It's time to continue working on your own dream movie, your wonderful new movie. But be careful. Don't commit murder. Don't kill your movie. Otherwise, I'll visit your set and arrest you. Wishing you all the best for your movie, Inspector Garrett. Movie Murder Department, Hollywood.